This just in, Jets turning to interim coach Jeff Ulbrich, their defensive coordinator for the last several seasons, meeting the media right now.
The level of defense necessary to win games, and he stuck with me, and he had great belief in me, and the success I have today, he's a huge part of that, and I got tremendous respect and love for his family as well. So today's an exciting day for myself from the standpoint of getting this opportunity, but at the same time, heavy in my heart for Robert. With that, I'll take any questions.
Jeff, Woody was talking to us a little bit ago about changes potentially, just changes in general for the offense. I was wondering if you could talk at all about your plans for the play caller, because you have Todd there who's done it, you have Nate who has been doing it. Do you know who's going to call plays for you?
I've got tremendous respect for this offensive staff. I do. Every single guy on it. In the next couple days, you know, like, in my opinion, these guys are going to be here on Monday Night Football for us, and they're gonna do an amazing job. Saying that, in the next, I mean, this has been 4 hours fresh for me to take this role on. Everything will be assessed, the process, the responsibilities, etc. But I do not foresee any changes in the staff.
Just to follow up on that, Jeff, you said you don't foresee any changes on the staff, but do you foresee any changes in the roles being play caller?
Yeah, we're going to take a deep dive on that in the next, really 36 hours and look at every possibility. But I do not see changes in necessarily titles in positions as far as responsibilities and the process itself. We're going to take a hard look at that.
Brick, we spoke with Woody a little while ago, and he basically said, he thinks this is one of the most talented rosters, the most talented roster he's ever had. And, what do you feel like you can bring to the table here to get this thing turned around?
We're going to take a hard look at everything. I agree with Mr. Johnson as far as the talent of this roster. We have been underperforming for whatever the reason, and we're going to take a hard look at all of it. At the end of the day, I'm going to be me, and I have tremendous love and respect for this team, for this roster, for this locker room, for this group of coaches, and I really believe, we lock arms, we commit to the process that we put in place, and we will have success. We will.
Jeff, what's your relationship like with Aaron Rodgers?
I have a good relationship with Aaron. He is he's one of those guys that has, he's just unbelievable experience, and he's seen this game at the highest level for a long time. So he's a guy with a lot of ideas and really positive feedback about a lot of different things, whether it be meetings, practice, game planning, scheduling, all of it, So he will be a vital resource for me in that way, for sure.
Hey, Brett, could you just... I'm sure this has been a whirlwind for you here, but just wondering about the timeline. Like, when did you actually find out? When was this opportunity presented to you, and how have you processed everything in that time?
Yeah, it has been a whirlwind. It has been 4 hours of craziness. 4 hours ago, I'm sitting there game planning for Josh Allen and what we got to get accomplished from a defensive perspective, and then 4 hours later, I'm doing a press conference here with you guys as the new interim coach of the New York Jets. So a lot of information to process. It's going to take me some time because, I got to pull away from the defensive coordinator position and really start to look at this thing from a global perspective. So in the process of doing that now.
That was Jeff Ulbrich, now the interim head coach for the New York Jets. He took over as defensive coordinator in 2021, came over with Robert Saleh, who hired Jeff Ulbrich to be his DC, and the Jets have the third worst record in the NFL since 2021. In fact, it's the worst record in the AFC. For more on the firing of Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich being moved to interim head coach, we bring in our lead NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. JJ, I understand you have some new reporting on what transpired there over the last 48 hours or so. What can you tell us?
Yeah, it's a surprising move for the New York Jets, making the move on Robert Saleh on Tuesday morning. I'm told that Robert Saleh, ahead of his Tuesday morning firing by owner Woody Johnson, he was actually contemplating seriously firing offensive coordinator Nathanial Hackett. I'm not saying that these two were necessarily linked. Not before Saleh could fire Nathanial Hackett, Woody Johnson made a move on Robert Saleh. It's not that case, but Saleh, knowing the dire straits that this team with so many expectations ultimately was in. They're 2-3. They have one of the worst offenses in the NFL when you look at it in terms of first downs and offensive points, passing yards, total yards. And you're coming off 2 straight losses, one at home to the Denver Broncos and a rookie quarterback, and then, of course, in London to the Minnesota Vikings, where your quarterback, your 40-year-old quarterback, the man on whom so many expectations and hopes have been pinned, throws 3 interceptions, including a pick 6 and a game-ending interception. Very clearly, Aaron Rodgers wanted Nathanial Hackett there. Nathanial Hackett hired back a couple months before the Jets ultimately traded for Aaron Rodgers. And that has been a relationship that Rodgers has cared very deeply about. So Saleh, according to sources, was seriously contemplating making that move. And if he were going to do it, before he could do it, he was fired by Woody Johnson, who has now made Jeff Ulbrich the interim head coach. And Ulbrich even saying just now that he has some decisions to make on offense. He did not get into it. He said that he expects everyone to still be on staff come Monday when they face the Buffalo Bills in that AFC East showdown. But he also absolutely left the door open for the possibility that there could be a change at play caller, or someone could ultimately leave the staff. So that's where we stand right now with the New York Jets.
Yeah, said didn't see changes to the staff coming, but potentially changes in responsibilities for the staff. So we'll let you keep your eye on that, but also what's going on, off the field, maybe in the trade market with, the potential reuniting of Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. How might this move change the way they go about these next 4 weeks leading up to the trade deadline?
Yeah, that's a great way to frame it. And I don't think that this changes anything for the New York Jets. Now that they have fired Robert Saleh, that their pursuit of Davante Adams, their want of Davante Adams absolutely remains. And so that's where they stand right now. Davante Adams and the Las Vegas Raiders, they want a 2nd-round pick for Adams. They don't want to pay down some of his salary. They're not going to get a 2nd-round pick unless they pay down some of the salary. That's not going to happen. In fact, had one source around the league say that the Raiders are in fantasy land if that is ultimately what they anticipate. And so, as it stands right now, Adams is still a Raider. As it stands right now, he still continues to rehab that hamstring. He has still played his final snap for the Raiders. Las Vegas still wants to move on from this, but they want a 2nd-round pick for him. And unless they're going to pay down most all of the contract that they can, according to NFL rules, I don't see them getting a 2nd-round pick anytime soon. Again, the Jets are involved, the Saints still monitoring, certainly the Pittsburgh Steelers among others in this Davante Adams sweepstakes.
4 weeks from today, the trade deadline in the NFL. The Jets making a big move today, firing Robert Saleh and elevating defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich to interim head coach ahead of their Monday nighter against the Bills. That's Jonathan Jones, our lead NFL insider, with the latest. We have NFL picks against the spread for every game each and every Wednesday here on CBS Sports HQ. Just one of the many things we do NFL related all week. It is all right here on HQ.